Text message, March 8th, 2024, 11:47 p.m. I can't keep doing this. She's my fiancé. Then why are you still here with me? Because I can't stop. Screenshot, Instagram, private messages. Last night was incredible. When can I see you again? Timestamp, 2 weeks before the wedding.
These messages were never meant to be seen, but Jessica Torres saw them, and what she did next destroyed her best friend's wedding and nearly their 10-year friendship. Case number 008, the friend who exposed the affair. Sarah Mitchell and David Chen, engaged for 2 years, wedding planned for April 20th, 2024. 200 guests, $70,000 spent, invitations already mailed. Sarah's best friend since college, Jessica Torres, maid of honor, helped plan everything. 3 weeks before the wedding, Jessica discovered David's 6-month affair with his coworker. She had a choice: tell Sarah and destroy the wedding, or stay silent and let her best friend marry a man who was betraying her. Jessica chose to tell. The wedding was canceled. $40,000 lost in vendor deposits. Sarah didn't speak to Jessica for 4 months. Today, you decide. Was Jessica a true friend, or did she violate a boundary that should never be crossed? You are the jury.
Miss Torres, you stand accused of interfering in a private relationship that wasn't yours to control. Before we examine the details, tell this court, why did you believe you had the right?
Your Honor, Sarah is my best friend. I've known her for 10 years. When you see someone you love about to make a life-destroying mistake, staying silent isn't loyalty, it's cowardice.
Or perhaps it's respecting boundaries. Tell me how you discovered the affair.
March 8th, Sarah asked me to grab David's laptop from their apartment. He'd left it and needed it for a work presentation. I went to get it. The screen lit up automatically when I picked it up. A message notification was right there, full screen. It said, "Last night was incredible. When can I see you again?" From someone named A.
And you read further?
Yes.
You unlocked his laptop and went through his private messages?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's not discovery, that's invasion of privacy.
With respect, Your Honor, I didn't hack his computer. The messages were right there, and once I saw that first one, I couldn't stop. There were dozens of them, going back 6 months. Photos, hotel reservations, conversations about how much he loved this woman but couldn't hurt Sarah.
Did you confront David first?
Give him the chance to confess on his own? No.
Why not?
Because I knew what would happen. He'd deny it, or he'd manipulate me into keeping the secret, or he'd confess to Sarah on his own terms, downplay it, make it seem like a one-time mistake. I went straight to Sarah.
Describe that conversation.
She was at work. I texted her, "We need to talk, it's urgent." She met me at a coffee shop. I showed her the screenshots. All of them. She didn't believe me at first. She said maybe it was old, from before they were engaged. But the timestamps were right there. March 7th, March 5th, February 28th. She stared at the screen for maybe 2 minutes, not saying anything, just staring. Then she stood up, told me to leave, said I had no right to go through his private messages. She was angrier at me than at him.
She blamed you?
For weeks, yes.
What happened after she confronted David?
He admitted it, begged her to forgive him, said it was a mistake, that he'd end it, that they could get through this together. Sarah called off the wedding anyway, 3 weeks before the date. Most vendors couldn't refund, guests had already booked flights, her parents lost $40,000 in deposits. Sarah's mother called me, screaming, told me I destroyed her daughter's life. And Sarah, she didn't speak to me for 4 months. She sent me one text 2 weeks after the cancellation. You didn't save me. You humiliated me. Everyone knows now. I'll never forgive you.
Ms. Torres, let me ask you something difficult. Did you tell Sarah because you genuinely wanted to protect her, or because part of you enjoyed being the one who knew the truth? What? Did part of you want to be the hero, the one who saved her? Because from where I sit, you made a very dramatic choice. Instead, you took control of the situation. You became the central figure in their relationship crisis. So I'll ask again, did you enjoy it?
No, Your Honor, I hated every second of it.
Then why did you do it that way?
Because I was terrified that if I didn't act immediately, she'd marry him anyway. Sarah loved him. If David had confessed first, he could have framed it however he wanted. It was one mistake, I was weak, I'll never do it again. And she might have believed him. I didn't want to be the hero, Your Honor. I wanted her to see the truth before it was too late.
Let's talk about what you actually did. You unlocked someone else's laptop. You read private messages between 2 adults. You took screenshots without consent. You distributed those images to a third party. If David had done that to you, we'd call it stalking.
It's not the same thing.
Why not?
Because I didn't do it to hurt him. I did it to protect Sarah.
But you decided that without asking her. You took away her right to discover this on her own timeline. What if Sarah had wanted to work through this privately? What if she would have preferred not to know until after the wedding? You made that choice for her.
Your Honor, staying silent would have been making a choice for her too. Either way, I was involved. I chose honesty.
You chose control.
I chose not to be complicit.
If the situation were reversed, if Sarah had discovered that your partner was cheating, would you want her to tell you?
Yes.
Even if it destroyed your wedding 3 weeks before the ceremony?
I'd be devastated. I'd probably hate her for a while. But eventually, yes, I'd want to know. Because a marriage built on a lie isn't a marriage worth having.
But Sarah did hate you for 4 months. She said she'd never forgive you. That tells me she didn't want to know. At least, not that way.
She came back, Your Honor.
After 4 months? She thanked me, did she?
Yes, she said if I hadn't told her, she would have wasted years with someone who didn't respect her. But she's also said the way I did it, showing up at her office, ambushing her with screenshots, that was cruel. She said I could have been gentler. And she's right.
So you do regret it?
I regret the timing. 3 weeks before the wedding was brutal. I regret how I told her. Showing up with screenshots felt aggressive. But do I regret telling her the truth? No, Your Honor, because the alternative was watching her marry a liar.
Even though it almost cost you your friendship.
Even then, because real friendship isn't about making someone happy in the moment. It's about protecting them from harm, even when they hate you for it.
Here's the other side, Miss Torres. Some would argue that relationships are private, that even best friends don't have the right to make nuclear decisions for each other. By inserting yourself, you didn't just share information, you detonated their relationship. And for 4 months, Sarah believed you destroyed her life. So let me ask you one final question. If you could go back, knowing that Sarah would hate you, that her family would blame you, that you'd lose your best friend for months, would you still do it?
Yes, Your Honor, because the 4 months of silence were horrible, but living with the knowledge that I stayed quiet while she married someone who was betraying her, that would have destroyed me. I didn't do it to be a hero. I did it because I couldn't live with myself if I didn't.
Then you've answered the question. You chose your own conscience over her autonomy. Whether that makes you a good friend or a controlling one, that's not for me to decide.
You've heard the case. Jessica Torres discovered her best friend's fiancé was having an affair. She went through his messages. She exposed it 3 weeks before the wedding. $40,000 lost, 4 months of silence. But eventually, Sarah came back. She said thank you. The question isn't whether it worked out. The question is, did Jessica have the right to do it? Go to the comments, type one word, justified or wrong. Before you vote, ask yourself, if your best friend was about to marry a lie, would you tell them? And if someone destroyed your life to save you, would you forgive them? There's no easy answer. Tomorrow, we reveal your verdict. The votes are being counted now. Jessica Torres says she'd do it again, but would you? Vote now.